What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley, that's Scott Savage, and you can join us at InsideTheGame.ca, our YouTube channel, Inside the Game Official, our Fast channel over on Rad TV, and of course those beautiful television streaming platforms around the globe like Amazon Prime, Roku, Jinx Esports TV, ESTV, and a whole lot more. But if you don't want us on the visual side, check us out on 212 platforms for the audio side with Fired Up Network. Thanks to those, our partners over there. And of course, Scott, we've got a lot to talk about today. What are we chatting about?
That's right, we do. We have Spider-Man 3 game has been teased. I think you've been telling me a little bit about that. We have an Xbox partner preview program that has been announced. And Fallout TV show's release date has been let out. And I am super excited for that. I'm also extremely excited for Layers of Fear free DLC that has been announced.
Well, it's just in time for the Halloween season, so the spookies are here. But first, let's talk about it. Spider-Man's third game. Scott, it's no surprise Spider-Man 2 topics are just flying right now, but wait, we have more. Spider-Man 2 creative director teases a third game. I'm just telling you right now, play Spider-Man 2. It ends without spoilers. It sets up a third game, just straight up. Just watch the credits, you'll understand. I'm not surprised, right? This is David Coulson over at Insider Gaming, continuing on from 2018's Marvel's Spider-Man and 2020's Miles Morales, which served as a PS5 launch title. Spider-Man 2 brings both web-swinging heroes together as they look to take down Venom and the mercenary group called the Hunters. So far, Spider-Man 2 has been a great success, with Sony claiming the game has sold 2.5 million copies within its first 24 hours. Scott, that is no surprise. It is Spider-Man, dude. Spider-Man is a huge IP, not only for PlayStation, but just as a brand alone, Spider-Man is massive, right?
He's got to be the most prolific superhero out there, ever.
Easily, right? When you take a look, who else would you think of superhero games? Superman never really had a good game at all.
No, never once had a good game, did he?
No. Iron Man, he's kind of hit or miss. He's got a couple things, right? We had Avengers, which should have been. We talked about that one a lot here, obviously.
I think Iron Man is only loved because of Robert Downey Jr. That's my hot take for today.
That's fair. But here's the original Insomniac 2018 Spider-Man, sold 3.3 million copies in its first 3 days. 3.3. God of War moved 3.1 million copies in its first 3 days. Spider-Man 2, 2.5 in 1 day. Why wouldn't PlayStation just wait 3 days and then give us those numbers? Don't hit us with the day 1 numbers, hit us with the day 3 numbers like you have been over the past, because it would have been able to easier just to kind of line up and judge. Scott, 3.3 million, you think they're going to breach past the first game?
I think so. I think this is well on track to be the record holder. I'm not sure if you look at numbers of consoles that are out in the market right now of how much sense that makes if everybody can jump on Spider-Man 2, but it is just absolutely well loved.
Yeah, no, it is. People are really loving it. You can check out our full review over on our YouTube channel and our website. Spider-Man 2 is over there. Steve liked it a little bit more than I did, and it's not that I didn't like it. It's got some amazing moments, but then it's got some pacing issues for me. It just kind of threw me out of the loop. I'm like, I didn't want to do this again. But I didn't want to do another car chase for the third time in the third game.
It was those car chases.
Yeah, it's funny because I was talking to my brother last night, right? And I said to him, dude, how you like putting out all the putting out all the gas trucks on fire? He goes, man, oh man, why am I doing this? He goes, I've only been playing for a little bit and I've done it a dozen times already. I don't want to do this anymore. That was my problem with the game, right? But the rest of it was just, man, oh man. Venom,
it's funny how things
Blizzard.
rhyme throughout time, because I think of Spider-Man 2 from 2000 something.
Yeah,
and it was the same deal. You hear a little girl go, "My balloon!"
Yeah,
the
like, balloon thing. Oh man, there's so many balloon things. It was brutal. Yeah, that was a quest, that's for sure. Well, speaking with the Friends Per Second podcast, Spider-Man 2's creative director Brian Intihar gave some subtle hints at the future of Insomniac's smash hit series, and that a third game could be in the works, likening it to Marvel Cinematic Universe. Oh no. Scott, quote, Spider-Man 1 was like our Iron Man, Spider-Man 2 was like a Civil War, where logically do we go from there? Where logically do we go from there? Yeah. Okay. So I see where he's kind of teeing it up to, but dude, I know where they're gonna go. I'm not spoiling, but man, a third game is definitely coming.
It's really funny because the only thing that can stop a third game or Spider-Man in general is Thanos. So it's a funny combination there.
Yeah, for sure. For those who don't keep up with the MCU, the beloved Infinity Saga was split into 3 phases between 2008 and 2019. Man, I can't believe it went that far. It began with Iron Man.
So long.
Yeah, it was so long, wasn't it? It began with Iron Man and then spent the next few years establishing other franchises and characters such as Thor, The Incredible Hulk, and The Avengers. Dude, I like The Incredible Hulk movies. I know they're not for everybody. And where did we get an Incredible Hulk game again?
Thor Ragnarok was an excellent movie out of the Marvel Universe. I think that has to be my favorite. Yeah. Iron Man's cool too, but...
Yeah, for sure. Dude, when I played Avengers, I was the Hulk. I smashed everything, and it was a blast to play. My brother was always Iron Man.
It was Ultimate Destruction all over again.
Oh, dude, it was so good. I played that game back in the day, too. That was a ton of fun. Things began ramping up with Captain America Civil War at the beginning of Phase 3 and concluded with Avengers Endgame in 2019. With Marvel's Spider-Man 2 already becoming the fastest-selling PlayStation Studios game in history, selling over 2.5 million copies within its first 24 hours, it's hard not to see that Sony and Insomniac will probably want to do a third. Without any spoilers, the ending of Marvel Spider-Man 2 also hints at the third game potentially being on the horizon. Yes, it does. I'm telling you, just watch the credits. Here's the thing for me. We are now teeing up. So Insomniac has done Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Spider-Man 2, and the next game, Wolverine. Do we take a break, Scott? Like, do they tee it up like the MCU? Do we take a break from Spider-Man over the next few years as they kind of flesh out the third game? Do we get do we get Wolverine? We get Wolverine. Do we get Wolverine next year? I think that is really the big question when it comes down to, is Wolverine a 2024 title or are they being a 2025 title? Right?
I'm going to hazard a guess and say very early 2025, but I have no real information to point to that.
Well, okay.
Other than we haven't seen anything. As far as I'm aware, we have not seen anything from Wolverine yet.
I'm just
but I think that does make a lot of sense. If we take a few years off Spider-Man to allow the dust to kind of settle and that hype to build again.
I want to see, I'm looking up Insomniac as far as their release dates for games over the last couple years, right? So let's take a look. We had Spider-Man Miles Morales in 2020, Spider-Man Remastered 2020, Ratchet and Clank 2021, Spider-Man 2 2023. So if you tee it up, we could be, Ratchet and Clank had a 2-year gap, right? But we had Miles Morales and then Ratchet and Clank. So you have to think the team that was working on Miles Morales probably did a little bit out here on Spider-Man 2 as well. But dude, it's so hard to say. We could be getting it next year for Wolverine. I kind of feel like we are going to get it next year just because it seems like they have 2 teams, right? So while one was working on Spider-Man 2, the other was already working on Wolverine, getting it teed up. So maybe we do have the Miles Morales and then the Ratchet and Clank kind of scenario. Here we have about a year and a gap, right? Really, from 2021 to 2023, Spider-Man 2. Then we have Spider-Man 2 this year, and then the other team comes in full swing, pulls in from Spider-Man 2 team. Boom, we now have Wolverine. Then we get another 2-year gap of whatever else, maybe 3 years. Dude, Insomniac just crushing it lately, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely. But I don't think anybody wants them to rush these games.
No, absolutely not. I think that's the biggest thing. Take your time. If we don't get it next year, that kind of sucks. But I'm sure we'll be okay to play something else in the meantime, Scott.
There'll be other things in the meantime. That's right.
Yeah. If you have finished Spider-Man 2, hit me up. Let's talk. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the game. Hit us up over at the official ITG. You can hit me up personally at ArtisticGamer28 over on Twitter or X, whatever we're calling this thing now. One of these days, dude, we're just gonna jump ship.
It's always Twitter.
It's always gonna be Twitter for us old school. But yeah, Spider-Man 2, no surprise to see Spider-Man 3. Scott, Xbox just announced a partnered preview coming our way on October 25th. That's right, coming up tomorrow. Mike Straw over at Insider Gaming. Microsoft has announced the next Xbox showcase Starting at 10 a.m. PT, which is 1 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday, October 25th, the Xbox Partner Preview event will feature looks at a number of games so far. Games like Alan Wake 2, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Ark, Survival Ascended, and Dungeons of Hinterberg have been confirmed for an appearance. There is also a tease of more games coming. Quote, "We are delighted to announce our next broadcast event, Xbox Partner Preview," end quote, Microsoft says. Quote, "This new show format will deliver a fresh mix of indie games and familiar favorites from our third-party partners like Ryogata Goto Studio, Remedy Entertainment, Studio Wildcard, and others, with more than 20 minutes of trailers and new gameplay footage," end quote. Scott, this kind of feels a little bit like State of Play.
It does, but have we had... I'm trying to remember when the last Xbox presentation would have been. I really almost can't remember.
I'd say like around the E3 timeframe, right? I think that's kind of it. That was the last time we actually saw anything out of them. I think we're kind of getting ready and ramped up for whatever Xbox is going to bring to the showcase now, when they start kind of building up that library and how to present their stuff in next year. So I wonder if this is something we start to see a little bit more of moving forward. It's been a while too since we've seen a State of Play as well. But where are we at with PlayStation? There's a lot of questions and a lot of things going on right now, right? Quote, "Xbox Partner Preview will not feature any additional news, game reveals, or Game Pass information related to the recent acquisition of Activision Blizzard King," end quote, says Microsoft. "When it airs, you'll be able to watch over on the Xbox official YouTube or Twitch accounts. So you check those out there. We are definitely going to check it out, Scott. I'm curious to see what else they have to show. Ark Survival Evolved. I want to see Ark 2. I'm looking for that, right?
I'm just kind of confused on the whole situation with Ark now, because I don't recall exactly if they're going to shut the first one down, if that becomes Ascended. It's been too long now, so hopefully this does bring some clarity. But it's interesting that they try to get the shock out of the way. Hey, don't expect Blizzard Activision King, because every day everybody's expecting to just see a dozen Call of Duty games hit the Game Pass library, and I don't think it's going to play out that way. But
no, it's not.
Hopefully this gives some sort of information on everything else. There's plenty more to be excited about.
Well, they call it the partner preview event, right? So that's kind of nothing first party is kind of coming my way for this, right? It's all third party. If you line yourself up, Alan Wake 2, big show stopping piece at the end of the month, right? A lot of people definitely want to check that out. If you can relate that to Xbox, I think they start to take a little bit of the mind share with themselves, right? I think that's what they're trying to build here with some of these titles. Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, dude, that's everywhere too. So how do you kind of take a little bit here, take a little bit there? Dungeons of Hinterberg, I took a look at the trailer just before we went here, and it kind of piqued my interest. I'm looking forward to seeing more on that and what other surprises. But they say don't expect, right, any additional news or game reveals. So it's already stuff we know about. And it sounds like we're just kind of getting caught up. My thing is here, if this is going to be the Xbox State of Play version of stuff, moving forward, Scott, what are your expectations moving forward with a program like this? Or is it just kind of here, catch up on a couple things that you already know about?
Yeah, this seems to be just a little bit of a catch-up, not any sort of blockbuster world premiere.
Yeah.
Although it's been a while since we've heard the world premiere announcer, so I'm wondering how long it's going to be until we start seeing some much larger put together shows.
Well, the Keighley Awards are just around the corner, so I guess there'll be that to look forward to, right? But for now, it is more about definitely here's a catch up of what to expect to play over on Xbox. There's enough titles now coming to Game Pass as well. They can almost do a whole showcase on that, I think, at this point, right? Add a mix of, hey, this is what we're working on for Game Pass. So here's our service, jump into the service, get ready for these games when they drop on day one. And now when they lead into next year, line that up with Call of Duty and whatever Activision is also working on, right? And kind of, there's opportunities here to make this bigger. I think they're just kind of testing the waters right now, but we'll see how it moves going forward. Do you have any high hopes for this at all, Scott, in the future?
Not too much at all. Not really. Although I just like seeing more presentations. The frequency increase is something I can get behind.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen a little lackluster in showcases lately. Summer was hot, and then we just
Summer was way too hot.
It seems like we're either it's all in or there's like nothing on the go, right? So we'll see. We're now getting into that holiday season, so they can showcase some of these places, some of these games, and the place to play them. being Xbox in this case, right? It's kind of setting up a mind share for the holidays, I think, moving forward. Let's see if PlayStation comes back in and go, hey, don't forget about us. Here's our state of play next week. Time will tell.
All they have to do is drop a couple big announcements and they take the mind share right away.
Wolverine coming next month. No, just kidding.
Where's Ghost of Tsushima 2?
Oh, show me the money.
Drew, here's something that I've been excited about for quite some time now. The Fallout TV show, episode 1, is set to release, and we have the release date. This is from Chris Scullion at VGC. The release date for Amazon Prime's Fallout TV show has been announced. A tweet from the official Fallout on Prime account shows a new teaser video which seemingly confirms the date. The first episode will be made available. The video shows a computer terminal which shows various messaging, including one that says holotape found 101 the end. It then ends with 04/12/24, implying that the first episode, titled The End, will be released April 12th of 2024. Bethesda and Amazon confirmed in August that the Fallout TV show would be released in 2024 and is set in Los Angeles. Now, I know a lot about the Fallout lore, but I'm not quite sure what's going on in LA. A teaser trailer shown during Gamescom, but not publicly released, featured marching Brotherhood of Steel soldiers, a shootout in a Western-inspired town, and a woman emerging from a vault for the first time. The Fallout series, which will be shown on Amazon Prime Video, is being produced by Kilter Films, the production company behind HBO's Westworld. I never watched Westworld, but I know it was very well beloved.
Yeah.
And a lot of twists here and there. But the debut episode will be directed by Westworld co-creator and executive producer Jonathan Nolan, while Captain Marvel and Tomb Raider's 2018 film co-writer Geneva Robertson Dworet and Silicon Valley co-executive producer Graham Wagner have been appointed as showrunners. We're getting quite a cast together for this. Fallout debuted in 1997, and the most recent game in the series was 2018's online multiplayer title Fallout 76. Season 14 of the title is launching on today. And the last mainline series entry, 2015's Fallout 4, is also the best-selling one, having shipped 12 million copies worldwide for launch day alone, according to its publisher. And there's a bit of news related to that as well. It's just been announced we're getting a free update for Fallout 5, and it's expected before the end of the year, and that'll bring it up to the new console gen capacity.
Fallout 4.
Fallout 4, that is. Fallout 5 does not exist yet, but it should.
We got the inside scoop going on over here. Yeah, Fallout 4 is getting the next gen.
I'll be jumping for joy.
Yeah, that's cool. Scott, what does this do for you? Are you excited for this?
I am excited for this, actually. I'm a little worried because it's a beloved IP.
Yeah.
But I've seen what YouTubers can put together on a very, very shoestring budget and some incredible material. I'm really hoping for something nice out of this. It's been so long since I've had any Fallout joy.
Well, so I've never been a Fallout fan, right? At all. And there's definitely a style that they have here with Fallout. The whole vault is its own situation that could really lead a story. But then when they come out of the vault, it's always that awe-inspiring moment, right? Ooh, here we go. We got a little enhancement of freedom. This is opportunity now to go see what's out there and start to explore and things. Opportunity is here. Will they pull it off? Dude, coming off of The Last of Us being so hot, so well done. They got a high bar to achieve. I think they've got, hopefully, the budget to achieve it. I'm definitely interested. Someone who's on the outside, I've never played a Fallout game. I've started Fallout games. I started Fallout 4, didn't click. I started 76, didn't click. Just not for me, right? Just not my preferred style. But I can appreciate the fandom that's behind it and the love. Like one of our friends of the show, Nate, actually was on the show at one point, loves Fallout. Still plays 76 to this day. And like, I'm curious to see his take on how much he is expecting out of this and where he kind of hopes is going to go. Then there's on the other side, dude. So there's two spectrums right now, right? We have The Last of Us on television, which just crushed it. And then we have Halo.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. This exists somewhere in between those, surely.
Right? So I don't know, fingers crossed. But yeah, we have our release date, which dude, has me excited. I definitely do want to check it out because I really don't have a lot to expect out of it, and I'm hoping to have a good time, but make it believable because The Last of Us felt real, and I'm hoping that can maybe be this way to pull me into the Fallout franchise a little bit by starting me off with the show, and for a lot of other people too, right? There's got to be a barrier of entry to get in here for those who've never played a Fallout game, or if you haven't really dove out and deep into the world of Fallout like myself.
Oh, I'm sure they're going to hit you with some powerful moments and hopefully some really brutal choices that are made. This was a very, very pleasant surprise for me. I really got to get you into horror games. Layers of Fear receives a brand new chapter today as a thank you to fans. A free DLC chapter, the final prologue, is set to come, and this comes from Rebecca Jones at VG247. Artsy horror series Layers of Fear might have called it a wrap with this year's game, but it turns out there's one more treat in the bag of tricks. A new free DLC chapter, the final prologue, delivers yet another tale of artistic temperament gone all creepy and wrong, this time in the medium of film direction. The unexpected epilogue is part of a double celebration. It's clearly Halloween, and there's also a need to commemorate the 15th anniversary of the founding of creator studio Bloober Team, and that's on November 6th. Given the human antagonist of 2019's Layers of Fear 2 was simply known as the director, it seems likely that this new chapter will share his side of the sequel story. The final prologue isn't the first additional entry into the series, as this year's game launched with a brand new side chapter for the first title, and that was called The Final Note. In the sequel, however, the director openly torments the actor, who in their story comes across as a much more likable character than most others in the series, even if they are still clearly messed up. Yeah, if you are not familiar with the series, everybody in that series is very, very troubled. A chapter from the director's point of view promises to either fully let loose as the obvious bad guy for once, or perhaps to humanize the series' most unredeemed character to date. This is really exciting. Any more Layers of Fear has me excited as a big fan. We actually did a review on the Layers of Fear most recent release, and I could just eat up a whole lot more.
Well, Scott, we're back to the long list once again. What games are coming today?
That's right. We have Cry Machina on PC, PlayStation 4, 5, Nintendo Switch. Enchanted Portals is now on the Nintendo Switch. Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1 is on PC, PlayStation 4, 5, Xbox Series, and the Switch. There's a little bit of a surprise there for myself. The Lord of the Rings Return to Moria is on PC, PlayStation 5 is coming on December 5th, and the Xbox Series is supposed to release later after that. Dark Envoy is on PC. Archetype Arcadia is on PC, PlayStation 4, 5, and Switch. Rip Out is in early access today on PC. And City Skylines 2 releases on PC as well.
Nice.
Exit the roundabout safely. Simply drop your preferred roundabout over an existing intersection and
that'll wrap up today's show, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. This has been ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news each and every day, Monday to Friday. I'm Drew. That's Scott. We'll be back again tomorrow.
We'll see you inside the game.